And welcome to the Zoom screencast. This is a quick screencast to see how we can use video conferencing and web conferencing at school with multiple people. So let's go to Zoom without further ado. And you will zoom.us and you will sign in using your Google account, your Watertown Public Schools Google account. I have a few Zoom accounts, so I'm going to go to sign in with Google right here. And when I click on that, it's going to give me the option of all different Google accounts that are connected to my Zoom account. So I'm going to use the one for Watertown Public Schools, and it automatically enters my password, and it takes me inside my Zoom meeting setup. There is an important message. Zoom has made the 40-minute limit go away for up until July, I believe, for the due to the COVID-19 situation. But they are also giving you options about packages and that are available to you if you want to upgrade. So first thing, we are going to go to Profile, which is the first page that you want to set up. You do want to have an image of you right here because that's what's going to show up when your video conferencing is off or on your profile. So this is very important. You can edit your name right here. You can add department right here, your job titles, like so, and you can always go back and update it. And you can save changes and those things will show up right here. Making sure that you have a personal meeting ID, that is something that you can always use. The capacity for meetings is 100 for now because I'm operating through a basic account, but with Pro that capacity increases. So you can click on this question mark and this 40-minute option that it's talking about is currently not in place because Zoom has taken it away for COVID-19 until July, I believe. This is where you set up the time zone, which is you want to make sure it's the Eastern time zone, the date and the format. And the other thing you want to just make sure is, again, that on the right hand side you have all of these edit buttons which will allow you to change details and add details as you need. So the settings are another place where you go in and you make sure your host video and participant video is off. I choose this option because as I walk into a video meeting, this allows me to turn it off, and then I can turn on the video when I am ready and ready to go. So audio type, making sure telephone and computer audio both are checked in, and then requiring password for when scheduling new meetings. That's an option you can check in or not. The one that you want to check in is the file transfer option, which allows you to sort of transfer files. Host and participant can send files through the in-meeting chat. And then the screen sharing option. So you can host only can share or all participants can share. Who can start sharing when someone else is sharing. So the host has the control, so host can share. And annotations, you can have that on and you can have the whiteboard on. So these are some of the very basic settings that you can have. And I'll send out a handout regarding all of these settings as they show up on my machine. So if you want to change any, you can refer to it and change as you need. So now we are going to go into the meetings option, and this is where you're going to schedule a new meeting. Now I was trying out Zoom before, so I had a Zoom trial meeting set up, which I'm going to delete. So you can, as you saw, you can start or delete a meeting right here. I have another meeting coming up at 2:30 with the Scratch Foundation for a webinar, so I've already set that up. And then I'm going to schedule a new meeting right here to try out some of the Zoom features with you. So let's go. I'm going to go in here. I'm going to say Zoom trial. This is to try out features of Zoom video conference. Sorry. Okay. So when you can assign the date and the time, duration 1 hour, and you can also assign the time zone that you would like. Meeting ID is automatically generated, which will be a URL, and also meeting password. If you want, you can require a meeting password. It can be a number or it can be letters. Or this is a good security feature for you to opt for. So I'm going to just assign a meeting word that I want my participants to have. Video, again, the off options allow us to come into a video conference and turn on our video. But with this being off and with your image in your profile, that's what will show up. So then you have time to actually go in and choose your options as needed. Audio we chose. This is the meeting options are more on the lines of enabling participants to join in before the host, so you can turn that option on or off. You can mute all participants upon entry, so there is not a huge lot of noise, and everyone can turn on their audio options on as they come in, or you can turn them on as well. This feature, recording the meeting automatically on your local computer, allows you to record your meeting for those people who weren't able to attend the meeting, and then you can send them a video file. Right now, in the basic option, basic account option, you can only record it on the local computer. But if you have a pro option, you can record it in the cloud, and then you can send that link to the other participants who were not able to attend the meeting. So I'm going to choose that option. I'm going to say save. So this is going to set up my meeting, and this will also allow me to add it to my calendar. For Watertown Public Schools, we have a Google Calendar. For my Leslie, I have an Outlook calendar. So I use both of these options quite often. This is where your Zoom URL is. I have a password option in here. That's why the URL is this long. However, I can go to my meeting and then I can remove that option. And when I save this, you will see that my Zoom ID is now a smaller Zoom URL that I can use. So I can copy this invitation, and then I can copy this meeting invitation and paste it in my email, and I can send it out to all my participants. Or I can go to my Google Calendar. It will go to my Watertown Public Schools Google Calendar. It will say the meeting name and all the details embedded in the meeting body right here. And I can send it to all the guests, so I can enter guests that I want to meet with, and they will get all of this information, and I can say save. When I say save, it's going to show up in my calendar. And just so that you have a good visual, I can turn it red, and you can see that my Zoom trial is right here, and I can go to that directly. So now that we are in the meeting, you can start the meeting from here, or I can also go to my meetings folder, and I can start it from here as well. So let's say I'm going to start the meeting. It's going to ask me if I'm allowing it to open this application. Please do open Zoom US. And then it's going to ask me if I want to join with my computer audio. You can test your speaker and microphone right here, but I'm going to join with the computer audio. I can mute my audio right here. So that's a good setting to start off with. But you have multiple settings right in here, making sure your microphone is the built-in microphone. You have a built-in output if you're working from your computer, and you have other audio settings that you can go into where you can test your speaker, microphone, so on and so forth, and press and hold space key to temporarily unmute yourself. So if I just want to unmute myself, if I check this option, if I press my space key, I will be able to unmute myself. So that's just a few audio options. As you can see up top here, it's recording this webinar. You are muted, so no audio is getting recorded. So I'm going to unmute myself, and then it will start recording the audio. Right here, there is a small arrow near my start video option, and I can go in here. This is a nifty little trick for you to go to the general settings, and you can check all your general settings right here. You can check the audio settings that we looked at. And then this is a video setting where you can check how you're appearing, how you would like to, get ready before your presentation. You're making sure your camera is all set. It's widescreen is what I use. And I also say always display participants' names on their videos. You can choose that option or not. This is where I save all my video recordings. So once this webinar or this Hangout, Zoom Hangout is over, I, I will be able to save my audio or video recording right here. I can choose that option and I can also open it using this video, using this button, sorry. Record video during screen sharing is an option that I enable so that when I'm sharing screen, it will still be recording the video. And then there are some accessibility features which allows you to make your captions small or large. And I always like to show my meeting controls here. So you can either show them or not. So you can see that when I check it off, this would go away, but with this, they will always stay on the meeting. So it's completely up to you if you would like to do that. There are some of the keyboard shortcuts right here if you want, and when you get used to it, you'll be able to just use the keyboard shortcuts for switching cameras or starting and stopping videos, so on and so forth. So I'm going to close that. This is how you start the video. So it's going to start the video like that. I'm going to turn it off. And I'm going to go into, this is where you invite your participants. If you've already invited them through calendar, they'll be able to join in and you can see them in your list. This is where you manage participants. So you will start seeing all your participants right here. You can mute all of them, unmute all of them, or you have, play enter, exit chime if you want. You can turn that on and you will be able to hear every participant joining in or leaving the meeting as well. So before we talk about the sharing options, I also wanted to show you, because I don't have many participants in my meeting, I was able to take a screen capture of one of the meetings that I had attended with the Zoom team, and this is how they were showcasing the options that they have for the various participants. So you can see that up to say 49 participants can come in, and your the gallery view or the speaker view could look like this. In this case, you can turn on mute or turn off the participants. You can as they raise their hand, you can access that. There's also the option of, this is a pro option. So this is where you're going to be able to share screen. So I'm going to go back in here into our Zoom meeting. So give me a quick second. we are into our Zoom meeting, and now I want to share screens. So there are a few features that I want to show you first. This is the one participant can share at a time feature, or you can have the option of multiple participants can share simultaneously. And as it says, multiple participants will be able to share simultaneously. So I'm going to go and click on the share option. By default, it's choosing my desktop to share with all the participants. I also have an option of a whiteboard, or I can choose some of the presentations that I already have open on my computer. So you can have your Chrome open up all the presentations, and then you can choose one of the presentations right here. So if I want to choose the news article that I want to share, I can go in here and I can say share. And when I share that, I can go to that window, and I will be able to annotate that window. So let's say I want to write some or draw something on it, or point out to something. I can do that. I can also write text. I can use mouse. I can select or spotlight something, so I can do that. And there, all of these things can be saved. You can download your notes on the article from here. So this is how you sort of share, and then you can annotate on it. You can stop sharing. You can also go back and share a Google slide presentation if you have. Again, the same option, choose it so it turns into green. You share it, and you go to that presentation, which is somewhere here, and you can annotate. And in this case, you will be able to annotate or write text if you want. Font to time is awesome. Or you can, of course, erase as you need. So you can erase the components, and that can again be shared. There is also a new share option right up here. So you can click on that and you can share a different handout. Let's say I wanted to share this particular handout. So I'm going to stop sharing. I want to share this handout. And I go back to it similar way. And then I can again annotate, pause, and add. So these are multiple ways of sharing documents that you will have on your screen, and or in Chrome, and it's a great way of sharing it with your participants. One additional feature is the whiteboard. So if I share the whiteboard, this is where I can literally write or do the same as we've seen before. I'm going to draw, and that's a nice little feature that you can use and then download and save. I'm going to stop sharing. Chat options right here. You chat to everyone, or you can just post can only chat. You can give that. Chat allow attendees to chat with the host or with everyone. You can have that option. And because you've enabled the share file option in the meeting, you can click on that and you'll be able to share a file with everyone. So that's another nifty little tool right here. This is the pause and the stop recording that is also right up here. So when I close the Zoom meeting, I will be able to save that recording to my local computer and into the folder that I've specified. So these are some of the quick features of Zoom, which will allow you to interact with your participants, record your meetings as you need, and this is all in the basic environment. Not an upgraded account or a pro account. So I'm going to now end the meeting right here so that you can see how I can save the file or the meeting file recording that I have. So I'm going to say end meeting. I can leave the meeting or I can end it for all. So I'm going to end it for all so that we can see It's trying to tell me that I have a recording which needs to be converted. It converts it into an MP4 file before it saves it to my folder. So once it does that, it's going to pop up um, the name of the file, and it will automatically connect to the folder that I've assigned in my recordings folder. So it's going to take some time. And while we do that, I'm going to take you to the other window where I have I have a few Zoom tips um, right here. It's just very basic practices. So either through a desktop application or through the online application, you can log into your Zoom. Just before your meeting, make sure you check your meeting settings, test your audio and video. Use a USB connected headset if you want to protect yourself from the noise that's going around, or if you want a really good audio experience. Mute your microphone while others are presenting or speaking, which is a really good strategy always. Sharing content, you have your applications open, and in Google Chrome, if you have a presentation you want to share, have that open in advance, and turn your camera on. So position your webcam at the eye level, make as much of an eye contact as possible as you're sharing if you have your video on. So those are a few of the tips. Let's go back to Zoom, and file, the file, yeah, it has saved the file into my Zoom folder, which I had precisely stated, and that is the end of the quick Zoom screencast. Please do email me if you have questions. We would love to answer those. I hope this is helpful. Have a healthy, happy day. Thank you.